Why is everybody getting so sick right now? Why does everybody have this cough that just doesn't stop? I'm not being a conspiracy theorist in any way, but what is going on? Why is everybody reporting this? And I mean everybody, everywhere. It's over social media. What are the triggers? You're going to find out today as we talk. We're going to be two components of today. We're going to be going through the health issues of people, but we're also going to pull back in and look at why those health issues are here. And if you can go back to like Astro Mondays for the last 4 weeks, you will see it. We told you it's going to happen. And look what's happening right now. Welcome, guys. It's Monday, and it is step 5, and it is the 27th of November, and it is step 5. Sagittarius, which means you're in your head today and you're thinking about it. You're saying, after what happened the last couple of days and how you feel about it, you're like, I'm never going to think this way again. So put down there in the comments, is that what you're feeling? What's a word that sums up the way you feel today? How can I come and be a part of your Human Garage family? You go through, if you want to become a part of this family, you go through the 28-day reset lifestyle artist program, you volunteer, you put up and support the community, and then when your volunteering is enough, then you come and you share time with us. Guys, whoa, everybody's hitting me with diseases here. Give me a point. Tell me what's going on in your life. Give me something that you feel that's coming up for you. Disappointment, energetic or physical, doesn't matter. Refocused. Okay, Gabriel, Leo, refocused. Sports medicine doctor is going to look up and try some maneuvers. Hey, thank you very much for referring that out there. Full moon, yeah, like the full moon. How are you feeling after that? Yesterday was, man, everything that could have happened in the last 48 hours happened. Trigger a slip and disc, L3, L4, L5. You just go to the lower reset. Usually it's an emotion. Usually it's fear or grief. Anger, seeking justice. Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. Fair statement. Yeah, a lot of Capricorn in you, I would imagine. Disconception and disconnection in breathing. Sure. Pressure in ears.
It says here on Garry Lineham.
It's emotional. Feel yuck. Taking iodine and boron. Yes. Tired. How do we stop self-sabotaging because we hit an upper limit? I need help with cervical dystonia. Cervical dystonia, go to our upper reset and go through that. Go through that twice a day. Your cervical dystonia will stabilize it within a couple of days usually. And it's going to take you longer to get rid of it if it's been there for a while. But
Do you want to be live on both?
I don't know.
You're live on Garry
I don't know what to do, but I can't argue with you about it.
Okay.
I know.
Okay. You're live on both.
Okay, I don't know what to do.
I wanted you to know you
Okay.
wanted both. I wasn't to know.
Transformation, clearing old sadness. Partially calcified, sad, okay, without surgery. Frustration, brain feels inflamed, overwhelmed. Money triggers, yes. Grateful, could help my, grateful. I want to talk to you. Could my fascial maneuvers help gastro? Yes. Reflux disease, absolutely, 100%. I don't see anybody that lasts 2 months with gastroesophageal reflux disease. If you're doing the upper and the lower reset and you're getting, you're going to need the supplements, the diatomaceous earth, iris sea moss. I don't think I've had anybody had that over 2 months. Old emotions from childhood coming up this past weekend. Yeah, I didn't know it was still there. Going to meet people that are the fascial movers. Melasma. Hyperpigmentation won't budge. Listen, honestly, 28-day reset protocol, partnered maneuvers, get your GI tract, the hyperpigmentation, melasma tends to go away. 2 to 3 months. Negative news from my doctors today, but had to remind myself that it's my body feel okay. What's your negative news? It's about me. Holding tension in my hips, Whoa, happy full moon. Yes, it is still technically full moon. We're in that energy. Day 3 of urine therapy. Stella. Awesome. Stella DeVoe. Awesome. Tell me how it's going. Take pictures. You're going to get younger faster. Tinnitus. If you have tinnitus, go DM us. We'll send you the protocols. Best way to take boric acid. You can get it through things like boron or tablets directly, boric acid, or borax. I mean, I just take it. I take a half a teaspoon. I just drink it. I drink it in with my diet mixer. Sadness, a body part to release sadness. Yeah, actually, for sadness is coming from down here. So do the lower reset. It's not a press. I mean, one of the things that you can do for sadness is sadness is a derivative of fear. So let's do this together, okay? Let's go in here. Let's take your right hand, or put your hands, take on your belly button, go over 2 inches to the right and down 2 inches. We're going to do this together. We're going to do a psoas release, which actually is an organ reset release. So it's organ resets, pulling up on the right side, so I feel the skin pulling up. Lunge forward, lean back, and look up and breathe. 6 times. Keep lunging. Okay, good. Now, sadness is interesting because sadness is a derivative of fear. Fear and desire are the 2 root emotions. So let's go to the belly button, go over 2 inches and down 2 inches. And lunge forward and lean back. And breathe. Pulling up that skin, letting it go right into the leg. 6 breaths. Okay, that's the first part. What that does is it opens up your hips. Feels like you can move forward a bit more because part of sadness is can't moving forward. And then we're going to do a bladder release. Okay, so right hand on your pubic bone. Push into the pubic bone and pull the skin up. You can see my shorts even pulling up there. Left hand behind your neck. Squeeze your butt cheeks and lean forward like this. Okay, and breathe in through your mouth 3 times. 2, 3, through the nose. 2, 3. And then one last one. Sadness is usually about not speaking to somebody. So right hand on the throat, lift up, left hand behind. We're going to do a thyroid release. Breathe in. 2, 3. Through the nose. 2, 3. Okay, good. Okay, now this is for the mind of Gabriel. How you feeling? Let me know. Hey, courageously Courtney. Physically very tired. Cold last 2 weeks. Now a bit in the lungs, yeah. Asthma worsened. Father and mother wound, black sheep. Whoa. My sciatic nerve irritated, then lower back. I'm not taking painkillers. Had physical therapy, but not help. Okay, sciatic nerve issue. Lower reset, you have to get diatomaceous earth, Irish sea moss. Sciatic nerve almost every single time has dehydration of the fascial tissue. The nerve goes through the fascial tissue. If it's contracted because of fear, anger, sadness, grief, shame, guilt, anything like that, it contracts on that nerve, and every time you move, that nerve gets twitched. It needs to floss, it needs hydration. So diatomaceous earth, Irish sea moss, if you can get the 28-day reset bundle, the power kirk will open up those layers of fascia really fast. Rosie Rosifer. Yes, start the 28-day reset. How to get rid of anger and resentment, Gary. Okay, anger and resentment, gallbladder. So this is for, looks like Adia. I can't even see that. So take your center bone here, that's your xiphoid bone, go to the right. See how the ribs go down like this? So right in underneath the ribs going down. Press in and turn it, okay? If you can't push in, if you don't have enough power, that's okay. You don't have to press in. You can put your hand there, but I'm going to press in. and turn like this. Okay, now take the left hand, put it behind your neck. Breathe 3 times through your mouth and 3 times through your nose. Breathe in. 2, 3. Through the nose. 2, 3. I no longer want to hold anger and resentment in my body in this way. I'm ready to let it go. Let us know how that worked for you. Candida yeast, 28-day reset. Usually that's just the start of the problem. It's off-balance pH, sugar dysregulation. So start with a 28-day reset, follow the protocol, and take the stress out every day. But it's the diatomaceous earth, Irish sea moss. It's a combination with the power kirk and the gut biome. You'll be gone. That I've never seen that last more than a month. Terminus neuralgia after breakup, low energy. Trigeminal neuralgia, upper reset. But if you have trigeminal neuralgia, like literally 99.9% of the time, and I'm saying because I haven't seen a case that doesn't have it, you have dehydration of fascial tissue, too much compression in the head. So upper reset, take the supplements. State of transition, throbbing in ears. Didn't go to bed till 2:30. Hey, Ruby Jean. Okay, anger problems is liver and resentment is gallbladder. They're together. I think mushroom supplements are great. Everything from like lion's mane, cordyceps, reishi. Those are really powerful, but there's a lot of different ones. And lion's mane, if you can eat lion's mane mushrooms, that's really good for your neural function. But also if low dose, microdosing of psilocybin works really well. Clearing trauma with a full moon. Rods and back that may be removed. Yeah, that's a big one. Rods and back. I think scoliosis disappear. So Garry needs an anger maneuver. I do? Was very angry last weekend. This weekend have infection of ear cartilage. Doctor gave antibiotic. Not sure. Well, I just did an anger maneuver, Michelle. Day 9 of reset. Having excessive right eye twitching. Why my blood sugar spikes at night in my sleep. Okay, all these questions about your body dysregulating and hormones is because your body's trying to repair itself. And at night, you got your gallbladder from 11 to 1, your liver from 1 to 3, your lungs from 3 to 5, and large intestine from 5 to 7. Those are big movers that your body has to clear toxins and rebalance. And if your blood sugar is spiking, it's because it's not stable. You're not stable in your hormone levels, which means usually dehydration and excess stress. So 28-day reset. You started the 28-day reset with your family. Oh, yeah. Very sensitive nervous system. Fascia maneuvers help placebo? Absolutely. I mean, if you just do the fascial maneuvers, the 28-day reset, no supplements, SIBO eventually will go away. But SIBO, it can be, you need more than just the space. A lot of people are so dehydrated that you're not going to get the SIBO right away. So the 28-day reset protocol has been, people with SIBO most people report it gone in the first month, sometimes the second month. But you're going to need the full 28-day reset protocol. Hey, Pisces, 19 degree. Looking good. I had the weirdest travels coming out of Costa Rica. I had every full moon thing that you can imagine. The full moon was to end the old relationships with the world, the thinking, every part of it. And I got it in doses, man. It's like it started off with couldn't leave Costa Rica. I had a small tear on my passport. Some lady at the airline says, no, can't swipe it. They had a call supposedly into, which I don't think she did, into Cancun. They said Cancun would fine them $10,000 they couldn't get there, all this other BS. And I said, and I wasn't even at the counter. Somebody else had my passport at the counter in our team. And then, so anyways, whole team left. Cynthia and I stayed there without luggage because the luggage left without us. Great airline. Yeah, that's one. You can't send the luggage without you. And then after that, we tried to go to 2 hotels in Costa Rica. We went to one. We thought we had a reservation. Ended up being for December 9th. There was no reservations. Everything was sold out. So then we went all the way over to another one. Walked in there, got fumigated and gassed out right away. Couldn't get in there. So we finally got a room back in the hotel we were the night before where we stayed. We went out for something to eat. So this started at 10 o'clock. Now we're at 6 o'clock at night. Got something to eat, came back, went to sleep. Like literally still didn't have clothes. Went to sleep. Most of our luggage is gone. Got up the next morning for a 3:30 for a flight. Then we traveled through Guatemala. So we left the hotel. We started traveling at 3:30. So we left the hotel, got to there, had to do a layover in Guatemala on another airline because they would take my passport. And then this is all because Cancun is going to not accept my passport, of course, right? Even going out of Costa Rica, they're like, dude, you got to pull me your passport. And I said, I know, I'm going to go to fix. And so we get to Guatemala, and we lay over, and then we get in. So the whole day of traveling is another 9 hours of traveling. So we have now been traveling for almost 36 hours. So it's just like going over to Australia. And this is on a 2-hour flight. So we get in, and then we get into Cancun. They don't even look at my passport. They're like, gone. Then I had to take the NanoV machine. I had to explain why I have this machine that looks like it could be a weapon going through our system, right? With all these buttons and stuff like that. It was like every single button that I could have had triggered got triggered over the course of that 48 hours. Like even the girl and I became not snipey at the end. I'm like, listen, you can see I just came in and out of Cancun. You can see my passport stamps. It's really not going to be an issue. She goes, no. And I said, you don't have to do this, right? She goes, yep, I have to do it. And I'm like, okay, so there's a bigger lesson here. So that's what I did is I settled into the bigger lesson. But that was my weekend. I mean, I spent 2 days traveling for a 2-hour flight. I asked for sciatic nerve irritation was doing a deadlift. Yeah, that's compression. It's usually if you're doing a deadlift and you're getting compression, and if it just happens there during the deadlift, that means that you got some torque in your spine. And again, these are signs of chronic dehydration of the fascial tissue. So just doing the lower reset, the barefoot sprinter routine, and then I would do lower reset barefoot sprinter routine number 1 day, and then I'd do the full 45-minute movements the next day. But I would get your body hydrated. Diatomaceous earth, irisin. Can I share more about my journey with urine? Yes, actually we are. We're going to be having certified health nut come on, and we're going to be talking about that. He's going through, which reminds me, well, I got Lisa. He's going through the 28-day reset. So can we reach out to him? And then, so he's going to report, basically come on once a week and tell us what he's going through. And then we can talk. And then we're going to help him to the 28-day reset. And he's going to help us with urine therapy.
Ronnie Lavoie Jr. is going to come on some point.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, Ronnie Lavoie Jr. He's got some interesting views. Scoliosis follow-up, bro. Brace or operative? Guys, if you go back into, I think, June or July, go back into July and look at scoliosis cured in 1 hour. We did a scoliosis treatment. Now, she had gone through 3 months of the 28-day reset, and we took her scoliosis from 22 degrees down to 1 or 2 degrees, and we did it with 1 hour. So there is no reason. Scoliosis is not, your bones aren't structured. So I do not believe in operating on scoliosis. It just makes no sense. I've yet to see. If you have a scoliosis and you've been operated on, and I'll put it this way, if you have a scoliosis you've been operated on and you feel it was the best thing you ever did, let me know. I have not had one person speak positively of the surgery, and I have seen thousands. trigeminal neuralgia, you gotta go. You gotta get your body hydrated, and upper reset. Upper reset you can get through our website. Ears ringing in the morning upon waking and right before bed. Bring your daughter to the doctor. Get hydration assessment. If you have a doctor that can properly give you a hydration assessment, let me know. I mean, I haven't found one, and if it's standard allopathic measurements, it's not gonna. You cannot get a proper hydration. Now, you can go to. There's some biohacking centers that have. They can actually. There's a machine. It's $25,000. Uses impedance. It can tell you hydration on each limb. It can tell you each finger, and that's where it's true because you can have aggregate hydration here, but be completely dehydrated through here, and these are your meridians that control that flow to the organ. And in today's world, I haven't seen anybody. And if you are, you let me know. If you're not taking exogenous minerals, like taking minerals from the outside and diatomaceous earth or silica, and you're hydrated, let me know. And then let's talk about it. Let's see how hydrated you are. I haven't found anybody yet, even kids. This is the scary part. 12, 13, 14-year-old kids are dehydrated in their fascial tissue. I have DDD and osteoarthritis. 28-day reset, you guys. And hey, Katie, 3 bins. Let's talk about that. Are you a Capricorn moon, or Capricorn rising? Katie, 3 bins. Katie, 3 bins. Trying to bring you up. Yeah, take the picture, Stella. You're gonna have a difference. Cough and cold for 2 weeks now. If you guys have that, the cough and the cold that doesn't seem to go away, let me know. We're getting thousands of reports. I mean, thousands of reports. So what is it? People are going in. It's not COVID. They're going and getting tested. So what is it? What's going on? And this is not a little thing. This is like, you look on social media, like we're talking like hundreds of thousands of people are saying it right now. So if you have DDD and osteoarthritis, sorry, Katie, I'm trying to bring you up. It's not working, I guess. 28-day reset. Make sure you add boron to your reset. You can DM us about that specifically. But yeah, osteoarthritis and osteopenia. We have so many people that have sent us reports, including medical reports, where they've been released from osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, osteopenia, no longer have it, even after as little as 6 months. 25 Gemini Mercury insight. 25 Gemini. You're feeling it, right? Today's a Gemini day. Probably Space Kitten 3. You're a spiritual Gemini. You're spacey at times in your head. You're always trying to do the right thing. I'm going to say, guys, if your solution to hydration is drinking more water, if you're dehydrated, chances are it's not about water. Most people get enough liquid through their daily consumption of foods and other things to do that. Most people do, even if it's meats and stuff like that. Most people do. So if you're not absorbing it or holding it, there's an issue. It's almost always mineralization. Right now, if you're having dehydration symptoms, look at mineralization. Don't look any further. Do that first, because you can change that within that. You can feel different in a matter of a week. You take diatomaceous earth or silica, add that to your diet right away, and add Irish sea moss or minerals like shilajit, and see what happens. Usually within 7 to 14 days, you feel different. It's noticeable. Hair, skin, nails, cognition, energy. My husband is stage 3, hands and eyes, muscles twitching last night. My husband's stage 3 cancer. I have no support system. And a lot of lymphatic retention too. Okay, I'm going to try to go live with you. This is Matros. I'm trying to go live with you. If I can't go live with you, I really want to suggest that you get into the 28-day reset, start taking care of yourself right now, because you can't be of help to your husband if you're emotionally not available. Because at stage 3 cancer, he's going to have a lot of emotions. And again, if you take the body out of stress 1 to 2 times per day, we have a child we have a lady, Leah Brown, with a child up there who had stage 3 cancer on the brain stem, and since July, the tumor is not spreading, and the tumor is 75% gone. Um, I believe it's 75% was the last report I heard, and that's just in a period of short couple months following these recommendations. Procrastination of administrative work for Feldenkrais occupational therapy business, chronic problem for me. Okay, I find that when I'm in the therapy business and working with people, when I have chronic procrastination, it's usually because something's not resonating with me with what I'm doing anymore, and and administrative is usually billing and reporting, and so that's what happened for me. I had billing and reporting issues, and I found I wasn't into what I was doing, so I was mechanically going through it. Have you? My question is, this is Siegel Carr. Have you done the fascial maneuvers? Have you done the 28-day reset? Start with that. And chronic procrastination, it takes like, have you ever gone to go get in like an ice bath or something? And it's like you stand outside and it's like, whoa, like it's hard to get in to do it, or to go clean up something. It's because the emotions involved in doing it are overwhelming. Take out the emotions and you'll do it right away. So go like initially, what I would do if I had chronic procrastination, the first thing I would do is I would do the lower reset, the barefoot sprinter routine, and then one day, and then mix it with upper reset, barefoot sprinter routine. Mix those back and forth for a week, add minerals, and usually that'll go away. Hey, take me in the call because you're depressed. We'll try. Chris Patecki, if you come back here at 12 o'clock PST, I will be doing Astro Mondays. Go look at our website and our Instagram handle, and you'll see Astro Mondays every Monday. Con Erap, I sent a request to you. Yeah, Con Erap, I don't even see you in the request. Stella,
Hello.
how are you doing?
I'm doing amazing.
So tell
It's been a crazy time,
everybody
but
where you are and when your birthday is.
my birthday is October 4th, and I am in Anamur, Turkey, which is right across the water from Cyprus.
Now, October 4th, are you a 12th degree? I can't remember.
I'm 11 point something,
Okay,
so
you're 11,
almost 12.
11 degrees. So that means you're a Virgo slash Libra. So you embody relationships, you embody balance, you're all about all the things of Libra, the creativity, the artistry, the the beauty that around you. That's why you're always, every time I see you, you're doing something to make the world more beautiful.
Yes, I can't live without beauty. It's like breathing for me.
So
Yeah.
so and it's interesting too. I talked to Sophia, and she goes, "Yeah, I grew like she knows your family from music." And
Yeah, it's amazing, yeah, to watch the different stories, and the paths of everybody
so
crossing.
what they were just a family band, and you guys are in Indonesia, and that's how it happened, or
Well, we moved in 1999. My dad, well, actually before that, my dad went to the Dominican Republic, and he went to visit some friends, and was like, oh my God, I never want to live any place that doesn't have banana trees and, like tropical weather. And so we moved there. We all followed him. And then just as the pig flu was finishing off there, it was like some strange, we went through a hurricane and all of that. And my dad was like, okay, now it's time to go back to homeland. We came back to the US, and it was like, where are we going to be? And he was thinking of all these different places, and like one of the places was where was it? there was war in that area, Yugoslavian area, and then at the time, and so he was dreaming. He had a dream, and he woke up and he said Indonesia, and my mom's like, oh, yeah. So they moved to
So how many
Indonesia, and
people?
that,
So your whole family? Is that family is left there? Are they all in the band? Is that what it is? Family?
yeah. So when we moved there, my father and my brothers went first, like 4 or 5 people to check it out. They like wrote on the internet, and in that time, like the internet wasn't as amazing as now, and they found somebody and they said, well, come on over and see. And my dad got such a warm response from the people. They said, come on over. And so my father was a spiritual teacher, Sufi sheikh kind of thing, and he had people following him, and they, about 70 people moved to Indonesia with him.
Wow.
So
Okay, now that's a whole story. I didn't.
yeah.
So a bunch of people that he was a Sufi, he was a teacher. So a bunch of his devotees followed him.
Yes, exactly. And then from there, and it was interesting because he had studied he could speak 14 languages, 13 at the time. And when we moved to Indonesia, Indonesian is like one of the easiest languages. The grammar is like almost non-existent. And he said, you know what? I finally found the language I'm not going to learn. And then he became actually one of Indonesia's respected poets.
That's funny. So
So, yeah.
so just so I can be clear, then how did you end up in Turkey?
So, it's a little bit of a long story, but to make it short, at the age of 8, I fell in love with Turkey. My father brought a book, gave it to me. I fell in love. I felt like, and I was only 8. He didn't like buy it as a gift for me. He went through Yugoslavia, and somebody gave him a gift in the airport of this museum piece. And he didn't have a gift for me when he came home, so he's like, here. And then when I said, I love Turkey, he was like, what? No, you don't. Because he had lived in Turkey for 5 months with my mother, and she was a dancer, and he was a Libra, born on October 5th, totally not wanting to fight, but always having to fight for her honor, so to speak, with Turkish men. And so when his daughter says, I love Turkey, he was like, no, you don't. And I didn't forget about it for years. And then I finally began to study Turkish, and he still kind of had like told me, no, you don't like Turkey kind of thing over the years. 2006, I came to Turkey for the first time, and at that point in my life, I was also like, wow, like, no, Turkish men, not for me. They're just so kind of
I know.
controlling, jealous. Yeah.
I know what you're saying. It's a culture thing. I know
Yes, and I was
I
just
have a lot
like,
of Turkish friends. I get
yeah.
it.
So I was like, no, I don't need that. Like, I can love Turkey, and I had many Turkish friends tell me, like, if you want to keep loving Turkey the way you do, don't move there. And just when I like completely, I was actually living in Santa Fe, New Mexico at the time, and I started to become aware of the fact that I may be like, I didn't want a relationship, but if I were to attract one, let me be sure that I don't attract the wrong person, because being someone who's so much around beauty and love, I know I can love easily, but I didn't want to love the wrong person. So I started like interviewing people, anybody that I would see. I would be like, how did you? And they were like, I don't know. You have to do your own, like, your own know yourself kind of thing. And over 4 days, I wrote 4 pages in my journal about the type of person I wanted to share my life with. And 4 days later, I ended up talking to who is now my husband online.
There you go.
He met him on Facebook.
There you go. Most people don't have a story like that. It's like I write this wish list down, and 4 days later, your manifestation.
Well, and that's kind of been the story of my life in many ways. Like, I used to think that everybody manifested things like that.
Yeah, because if you're a kid and you just get it done, technically what I'm at right now is we manifest everything. We just tell ourselves that we work hard to support the belief in our own manifestation. So basically,
Yeah.
we all get what we really want, regardless, even if
Mm-hmm.
it's shitty. We think,
Yes.
oh yeah, no,
It's what we're,
yeah, we got it because of the way we thought.
yeah. And the yes. And that being said too, like, because my father was so kind of out of the box, I mean, like, I grew up without him. Like, we didn't listen to music in English because he was like, I don't want you to learn life lessons from that. He always took it out of the box. So I didn't have that rush, or I have to work for money. It was more of like, miracles happen, of course. Like, yeah. But in this past, since 2012, I would say, I have gone through so much, just like awakening within myself, that I'm beginning to, like, hearing you share about your experiences in the airport and all of
Yeah.
this, and just being able to submit to that
Oh,
is
it was
beautiful.
because before, I mean, I'm a professional traveler. I used to be, and
Hmm.
I know every trick on the book, and I know what they can and can't do, and I know how to argue, and so I have one little part of the old me. I said, "Give me your supervisor, please," and she goes, "I am the supervisor," and then I'm like, I was gonna go the
Nice to
next
me.
step, and then and then I thought, you know what? I'm not going to give this situation a chance. So somehow something's going to happen. So I'm like, do I go through Miami? Like, basically, it's an airline saying that the customs in Mexico isn't going to take my passport, and I'm like, you have no flipping clue. Have you ever even been to Mexico? Like, I just had 5 entries into Mexico with that same passport. And so I'm like, it was like they picked me out of a crowd. So I'm like, okay, there's got to be a bigger issue here.
Yeah.
And so we submitted to the whole journey, but I mean, we went to go in. So, anyways, before we even got a chance to pick a hotel, because I'm not gonna stay in any hotel, just because I don't like the perfumes, the bed sheets. So before I could even pick, someone here on our team had booked me into a Hampton Inn, and I'm like, okay, so I'll just go. I'll sleep on the floor if I have to. I don't care. So we go over there and you get up there and he goes, oh yeah, actually, you have to tell the people that called. I just talked to them on the phone. We're completely full. We had your reservation for the 9th of December. And I'm laughing. Okay. So then I'm in an Uber. I don't even have Uber or anything anymore. So, and then I'm like, okay, I got to download my Uber. So I reinstated my Uber. I don't have credit cards. I don't have bank accounts. So I had to use Cynthia's, corporate card. So I put it in. So we go 40 minutes to another hotel. We get there and it's like, there's no way. I'll sleep on the street. And then, so we finally, anyways, there's a spot opens up in the hotel we were at the night before. So we go back to the hotel, and by the time we got in there, we got just enough time to go get something to eat before this place closes. And then we go get something to eat, and then we jump in the taxi, and we're like a little bit, the guy's taking too long to get our bill and all this. And we're gonna go to a grocery store so I can because I got a 10-hour day of travel the next day for 2 hours. So I'm gonna get some, because I don't eat airport food. So I'm gonna go get some nuts and some stuff to take with me so I can eat. I don't have my fascial fuel because my luggage is on its way to Cancun. So I have a
Wow.
backpack. Cynthia had nothing. She had to wash her underwear in the sink.
Oh, yeah.
And
Wow.
then
Adventure.
and that wasn't even the end of it. It just kept going. Oh, and then when we get back to the airport the next day, I knew that I'm in a full moon day because I'm in the lineup, and it's going pretty quick through customs to get out of Costa Rica, which is weird. You got customs to get out, and I turn around to her, talking to her for a second. And some guy's UFC looking guy at the back. He's yelling, "Hey, buddy, get up, get the line, go!" And like this to me, and he's about 10 people back, and I turn around and they'd already started moving, and I'm like, we just moved to the next thing, and then we're still waiting, and then I'm like, okay, that's gonna trigger me. Normally I'd be like feeling all inside about it. So I'm like, okay, what am I learning here? And it was like this that whole day, and then going to Guatemala, spending hours and hours laid over in Guatemala. It was one of those journeys. You can't make this stuff up.
No. And the beautiful thing is when you can actually really witness yourself in it.
Yeah,
That's what I've been feeling like these past week has been a number of like intense moments.
because it's a new story.
But
It's a new story.
yes.
and we're telling
Exactly. And
ourselves,
so I'm just like, wow, yeah, I don't need to be in it. I'm just watching
yeah,
it. It's like,
yeah. And if I'm not in it, it's not so bad. It just looks like a,
exactly.
I kind of like, okay, I move from one to the next, but I'm like, here's my thought. Okay, I'm going back after being a really intense 2 weeks with all of the people coming in for the retreat and stuff. I'm going back. I want to get back to Mexico. I want to relax. I want to get ready for today. So
Yeah.
then I'm like, okay, 2 hour flight. And then I'm like, I know that the options are, okay, now I'm going to have to go through Mexico City somewhere else. So now it's going to be like 10 hours. And I'm already calculating in my head. I'm getting all pissed off about it. And I'm like, hold on a second here. There's a journey here, but I had to talk myself off cliffs many times.
Yeah. 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 It's beautiful though that you can show it. That's what I mean, I feel like telling the story of like how my family moved to Indonesia, all of these things. We've always been these like almost outcast type of family, but now in this time it's so beautiful to be witnessing people are beginning to open up to things, and being on those cliff moments. Like I live for those cliff moments because that's where the miracles happen.
That's,
That's where the
that's where the
amazing
beauty happens,
doors.
right? But
Yeah.
that's when everybody gets upset and they stop. Because they close up, they get frustrated, angry because their narrative is, I have to do this. But the beauty comes in those moments from where the problem to the solution. That's where all the answers.
Mm-hmm. 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 Absolutely.
And
Amazing.
that part too is that, I'm done trying to like, pretend I'm in charge of this ship, man. There's just too many things. I spend my life thinking I'm in charge of my life, and I'm like, I am not in charge. People who say, yeah, you got to do this, you got to plan this, set that goal, but I'm like, I'm laughing secretly because I'm like, you got something coming.
Yeah. And I mean, it's when you can get to that place of just enjoying the ride. It's not about where you're headed or, yeah, how you're even going to get there. That's what I'm just starting to like, okay, submit to it. It's easier for me personally on my own to do that because a lot of my upbringing has supported that. My father was very much, um, yeah, totally out of the box and trust. Like,
Is your father still
don't even
alive?
tell you. No, he passed in
I would
2018.
have loved to have met your father.
Yeah.
Don't meet too many Sufis.
Well, when you go to Indonesia,
Yeah, we're planning.
my
We're planning end of January.
yeah, my family, and who knows, I'm like I've put it out into the universe a number of times. I feel like I will come. I was supposed to go to Indonesia in just when the borders closed for the pandemic, and it hasn't happened again since then. I didn't really do much I haven't done any traveling outside of Turkey since the pandemic. Partially because I just like it was just not. I'm not interested in traveling with a mask. I wasn't.
Yeah.
But I'm putting the intentions out there, something to align. Maybe I'll be there. If not, I think that, yeah, I mean, I would love to connect you with my
Yeah,
family
we'll
there.
definitely
My brother, who's
get
the
into that.
vocalist.
And Sophia is arranging a bunch of events for us
That's
because
awesome.
our whole thing is really just to get in front of people, whether they know who we are or not. We can make
Exactly.
a big difference. I mean, she can bring 20,000 people into a place.
Exactly.
Yeah. So so tell me something. You're in a new state.
Yes.
That's kind of fun. Play on words.
Yes.
First of all, how long have you been doing the maneuvers, and what is the biggest takeaway that you had up to date? Like,
I
what are some of the biggest changes you've had?
I have been doing the maneuvers for almost 3 months now,
Mm-hmm.
and I had been watching Human Garage for like 3 years, about maybe a little bit more. Um, Posting this in my stories. Oh yeah, great maneuvers, but never actually taking time to actually try it. But I could tell it was like yes, something that needed to be shared. And 3 months ago, took part in a like random meditation after a human design class, and I had made the intention that the night, like the day before or something that I was ready to level up on all levels. And I was thinking about it, and then this opportunity for this meditation, they said you can make your own intentions if you want to stay, blah blah blah. And so I was like, okay, universe, I get it. Here's my opportunity to crystallize and be clear on what I want. I recognize that leveling up can mean feeling physical pain.
Yeah.
I'm ready. Bring it on. Whatever you got for me, I'm ready. And I woke up the next morning and my lower back had, I was feeling good. I went to the kitchen and I noticed, oh, I haven't put the dishwasher on, and went to bend over, and like my back, my spine felt like it was about to crumble into dust, but it was so painful. And I reached out to you through Human Garage and to your profile, like, please help me. I was like 10 out of 10 pain. I have a very high tolerance for pain, but I like couldn't walk. And I got messages back from you guys like, do this reset, do this, do that. And the first day I did the 15-minute reset, and I went down to like an 8 pain level. And then the next day I was able to do, what was it?
Probably lower reset.
I did it twice as well. Yes.
Yeah.
Upper and lower. And I did it twice. And I went down to below 1. Like the pain was, like my back was feeling better than it was before.
Right.
I had the freezing up of my lower back, and it was just amazing. And because I'm also learning about my own human design
Are you
chart.
testing
Generator.
Generator, right?
Yes.
And I'm a
3-5 minutes. Yes. Okay. Yeah. And so I learned that the first top left arrow is showing that I don't do well with like clear routine, predictable routine. And so I was like, okay, how am I, since I just learned this, how am I going to bring this into this now newfound inspiration, also not wanting to like train to failure in a way as well.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm going to ask myself every morning when I wake up, what does my body want? And I have only missed 2, maybe 3 max days in 3 months of the fascial maneuvers. And I'm doing them like sometimes 2 and 3 times a day because people are asking me, and I'm sharing, or I'm helping family members who are near me.
That's the best way. When people know that you can help, you end up doing your maneuvers just by helping them.
Exactly. And when you're doing like that, like at the end of the day, you just feel like recharged. And on that note, I also finally I discovered there is one company in Turkey that sells the Irish sea moss.
Mm-hmm.
And
please share that.
Okay.
So we have people ask us in other countries all the time, and like you said, in certain kinds like Turkey, you just can't get certain things.
Yes, it's like I haven't found the diatomaceous earth. So if anybody watching this
from horsetail
knows about that, okay. How would you say like making it into a infusion, or?
Well, silica from horsetail. I mean, horsetail you can make into infusion, or you can often get it as tablets or powder.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like what would the dosage?
I would take 5 tablets a day if they have it. It's about 400 or 500 milligrams a day.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, because that's perfect. I wanted to ask about that because I got the Irish sea moss and I've been taking that for 4 days, and I thought, and I noticed actually a big boost in my energy.
Yeah, because it's like people think that they're hydrated, and you can still have really good hydration, but as soon as you get the silica in, and then the Irish sea moss, the minerals, each one of those 102 minerals is like a pathway that fires something. It's like a piano. It's like if a couple of the chords are off, you're probably still going to be able to play the tune, or if you're missing a string on your guitar, but you're going to compromise the overall performance, and that's what the Irish sea moss does. It allows the entire hormonal performance in the body to work.
Okay. Yeah, because I just noticed like with this season, suddenly it was like And it's probably partially because I'm like tuning into each organ. Oh, and that's another question. Like I was doing the organ reset, or I am doing it, but for a little while there, I ended up having, in the places where I hold my hands, I ended up getting like good sized bruises
Yeah, okay.
and then welts.
Okay, that means so first of all, in those areas where they get the bruise, stretch like this and then just move it. That's those bruises or that blockage of fluid, I believe, is what becomes cancer later on.
Okay, that's interesting that you say that, because I let's see, it was about maybe 15 years ago now in Indonesia. I had someone, this is interesting, I never made these, but I also felt like when I saw the bruises, like I was really had this, my body had this feeling of like, yes, like come
It's
out, welcome.
yeah, it's opening
And I also
because
got
it's like
like
the
big
myelin acid.
welts.
So if you have a bruise there, fascia comes in layers. And traditional doesn't show this. They still show fascia as a coating around, but basically muscles exist in fascia. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, again, without going too far into it. So fascia comes in layers. And in areas where the organs are, because they're working so hard and there's pressure, sometimes in these areas in particular, the fascia gets compressed. And then that so that everything moves around it.
Mm-hmm.
But that area of compression is a blockage in the flow of the layer of fascia and the organ meridian.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so this is all very interesting to connect these dots as well, because about 15 years ago I was in Indonesia, and there was this healer, traditional healer, like 80-year-old man, that someone said like he's cured cancer and other things with people. And he did this, when I went to see him, he said that in my breasts and in my ovary region, uterine region, I had what he said would turn to cancer in a short while if we didn't take care of it. And he gave me herbal drinks, and then he also would take the herbal mixtures and soak them in cotton and on your bare skin, like over your abdomen
Yeah,
and
that's
chest.
opening up into those layers of fascia. And
Exactly.
the best thing you can do is get over it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so basically we think of the skin as some sort of impenetrable barrier of protection. And so I
Yes.
say to people, you hear me say all the time, if you wouldn't eat it, don't put
And
it on
don't
your
put on your
skin.
skin.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
basically what happens is when we put like the Alka-Viva level 2 acid on the skin, like if I get a bug bite,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't get anymore, ironically, you put it on right on the skin, you hold it there for 3 minutes with a level 2 acid, and all of the poisons, toxins go away, so there is no more redness, and it doesn't sting anymore. And so
Yes.
we absorb way more than we think. And as soon as we get the fluoride and the chlorine out of our water, or we're doing fascial maneuvers, those layers open up. We become super absorbent. That's how I did my first 2 weeks of my 44-day fast without water. Is I just would sit in the bathtub when I felt like I was thirsty.
Yes, yes. Yeah, because, and that's the interesting thing with the way he did that healing. He had 3 nights I had to lay for 12 hours each time without moving at all. Became torture by the third day, because your skin starts like pulling out all of these toxins. And then he would do each day a massage,
Yeah.
which was very, not your
Fascial
typical
maneuvers.
massage.
You're doing
Exactly, that's
and
what I'm
you're doing
realizing.
fascial maneuvers,
And I
pulling it up to
looked,
the top and then moving it.
yes,
That's what fascial.
yeah, and because at the time I had gallbladder issues too. And again, I have it again, and I recognize this is also like energy that I have within myself, but also energy that I have absorbed, because Turkey has a
It has
definite
a
anger issues.
yeah. It has its own. How do you say it in French? Je sais quoi, or whatever it is. It has its own atmosphere. Yeah, there's a lot.
Yes.
There's a lot. I mean, because think about the history of Turkey, right? I mean, they were the warriors back to the beginning of time.
Yeah.
Istanbul.
Yes.
Can't even say it.
Istanbul. Yeah.
Istanbul is one of the oldest cities in the world, if it's not the oldest city in the world.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
The Turks had a massive, massive, powerful army, and they've also been persecuted. There's been a lot of anger passed down through
And,
generations.
and you can see this is something that I've been becoming aware of more and more. Also, like with when you notice many women, Turkish women's voices tend to be higher pitched because they want to be heard, and then you've got the men with the booming voices,
Wow.
but they're not so. I mean, they're trying to put this strong macho, but actually, when it comes down to it, most of them are
Yeah, just
not
little
very
babies.
brave.
Little babies.
Yes. And
You know what?
so,
It's just like in nature. It's like a cat wants to scare a lion, it gets really big. You know,
yes,
that's what the voice.
yes,
I mean, there's a lot of
exactly.
truth. The jokes that we make about it in society, but they're all true at the end of it.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like for me, like being drawn to Turkey. Like actually, when I was in Indonesia, I had a little 5 o'clock in the morning like song come to me, and it was, oh, Istanbul. Just Istanbul was calling me, and this was maybe 10 years before I even moved here. Had no
Yeah.
intention of moving. So I know that there's such major, and the fact that I'm in Anamur. Anamur is like not, it's like across the water from Cyprus, but it's not like a place that everybody, Bodrum, everybody knows Bodrum and Antalya, but Anamur is more kind of hidden. It's really interesting
So so
to be able to be here.
you've been you've been about 3 months on the maneuvers. What's changed in your life? Like, what does your life look like today compared to, let's
I
say, 3 months?
I would say that for one, my interactions with my family and other people has upgraded because the fascial maneuvers for me, I did it completely by myself for myself, which
Right.
was not easy for me because I'm
Social.
uh yeah, and I love to help other people and I can see people's potential. But when I do that, I usually sacrifice myself in the process.
You're like
So this
saving
was
artists.
me return. Yes. So this is like me. That was what really attracted me to it. It was like, wow, okay, I've got to be the one showing up. And if I can't show up, then I can't move forward. So I would say my interactions with people, it's like a much higher um, energy interaction.
Yeah.
There's something to share without having to give a part of my physical body or a part of my soul. I feel like it's like something to share that will lift us up,
Yeah.
and that goes above and beyond any of the issues. Like it doesn't cost anything as well, so it's not limited to, oh, okay, first you have to pay this, or you don't have a job. It's just like stand where you are. I had people actually come up to me on the beach and say they didn't know me, but they're like, I've seen you have such nice, you
Isn't
take
that
videos of
funny?
yourself hugging
People,
yourself.
when you do fascial maneuvers, people come up to you, and it's like I get it all the time. I'll be out there like on a beach or somewhere doing it. People are like, "Hey, I just had to come up and say something to you," and I'm like, "Yeah, what was the point?" Because energetically, it's like when you look across the room and you see somebody, your partner for the first time, you go, "Okay, that's the person." That's an
Yeah.
energy that you're just drawn to, and as we release emotions, people want to be
Yes.
around that, and that's what they do. So what about
Yes.
physically for you? What does it look like physically?
Physically, I I'm actually in the past week, I would say, well, I'm not waking up with body aches,
Mm-hmm.
although I do feel like a lot of things, emotions and things moving through. I've been noticing like welts and different itchy patches like coming through.
Detoxes, yeah, those are cool.
Exactly. And but again, like I'm here for it. I'm not putting anything on it, and just doing
That's
the maneuvers.
why I
And like
show
you
all my
said,
pictures because, I went through some again like this just before I went to Costa Rica. I had like it's herpes, chicken pox, all came up and then they would go away. It came up 3 times where it all came up and then went
Wow.
away within a day. All came up and went away. Very pronounced. It looked like I had chicken pox, right?
Yes.
And you know, and people, we give them different names, but it's herpes.
Yes.
People forget.
Right, right, right. Yes, yes. Yeah, I will start to share more of the photographs
Yeah,
actually. Sometimes,
it
yeah.
helps. It helps when people see it because they think that this healing journey is I go from here and I'm over there, but they don't realize that it's like this all the way.
Yes, yes.
And it's like you said, it's like being a part of the journey, not necessarily trying to get to the destination. Because like I'm not fixed. We had this happen at the retreat. It's like the judgment of where I am today. But if I go back and look at where I am a year ago, or 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, I've had such a big transition and change already.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really easy to say I'm not where I want to be, because that never changes. Because every time I get to one peak, I see another peak I want to get to. Not ever
Exactly.
recognizing, and I keep going so far away. I just want to be over here, but I also have to recognize that I've come so far. And that was part of my journey, was because when we were going through our own transition, I could have something that's uncomfortable today, but 2 years ago during this time, I was on a couch for a month and I couldn't move,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
in pain,
Yeah.
like no description, like pain through here, wanting to vomit, feeling fascia needed to move. It was my solar plexus, my emotions, which I was ignoring all my life.
Yes,
But
yes.
it was painful. It was like level 9.
Yeah, when you said about nauseous, I have noticed that my relationship with that feeling is
Yeah,
changing.
yeah.
Because like, for example, doing I forget what it's called, the
Jaw
one where
release.
you put your fingers in the back.
Yeah.
Yes, the jaw release, yes. Um, I have been, I found that when I opened and closed my jaw when doing it, it took it so much further, and um, it's made my stomach turn a few times. And
Yeah, the stomach can turn. It's almost like, whoa, is this okay? I've had a couple of those where like, whew,
but I'm
am
like,
I okay?
yeah, and I used to feel like when I would feel nauseous or whatever, having had kids and have gone through the nausea, it's like something you don't want to visit again. But now when I'm feeling it, it's like I'm developing this new relationship with that
Yeah, it's
feeling,
okay.
and it's
It's
like,
just part of the process.
this is safe, and
Yeah,
yes, I can
it's my
feel
body
that
going
it's
through a
like
change.
something,
I'm honoring my
yes.
body.
Uh-huh.
We're
Yeah, it definitely
if we don't
honoring.
feel 100% perfect, then there's something wrong with us.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a pretty hard standard to live. I mean, it's like having a 4-wheel drive truck. I mean, if I got a little car and I drive it to the market every day and that's it, no big deal. But if I take my truck 4-wheel driving, there's going to be days that the tires, the transmission has issues, the brakes have issues, the shocks. It's expected because I'm living my life having fun.
Yes.
And we were taught that if we're not 100% perfect, people are like, I love this. It's like, I've never been sick a day in my life. Or the one I get in the clinic, he was never sick a day in his life. And then one day he just got up and he had a cancer diagnosis and he's going to die in 6 weeks. And I'm like, that's bullshit. You don't get a diagnosis and then die. It takes your body 20, 30 years to do that. So the fact that I wasn't sick was the problem. My body wasn't, because we say sickness is a condition that leads to death. So when I'm detoxing, that's not sickness. I'm detoxing, my body's healing.
Definitely.
So if my body's
Yes.
healing myself, what's it healing myself from? My life. My life was sick, not my body.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, and that goes back to like when I had that treatment in Indonesia, which he was obviously working on my fascial maneuvers. He had learned from someone from Australia somehow. But literally, like, my whole attitude, everything changed after that. Like, my face was 10 years younger. There was no lines. Everything went
Isn't
away.
that true, Craig?
And it's amazing because I've witnessed something like that physically in my body. I'm just like, okay. And I had been making the intention. I was supposed to go back and see him 6 months after. He was like, come back. And he passed away 6 months later. I was like, okay, the
Perfect for
universe
you.
wanted
Take
me
care of yourself.
exactly
Right?
to come
You
back
got
to myself.
well, that's the thing, is that if people can get the feeling of what feels good, feels right. Like, it's not the knowledge. People always go, I want more knowledge about the maneuvers. When I get together with somebody and help them, I give them the feeling. Now remember this feeling.
Yeah.
Go get that feeling yourself. Because if your body will always gravitate towards the feeling it likes, it doesn't
Yes.
necessarily need knowledge will get me that feeling.
Yes.
So
That being, go ahead.
so Okay,
Yes,
so
come
basically
back.
your body's functioning better, you're feeling younger, you're gone from an 8 or 9 or 10 pain to below better than you were before. So now part of the reason I tagged you today is because it's like you went off the deep end and you tried urine therapy. So
Yes.
tell me what's happened over the last 3 days.
Okay, so yeah, I felt so much more energy. I'm noticing
Right away,
also
okay?
that, yeah, same day.
So energy, how did it show up? Did you feel tingly? Did you feel
I
like
just
running
felt
a marathon?
alert.
Did you feel connected? What?
I felt alert. I felt connected. Um, I didn't actually like get up and run a marathon, although I felt like I could have.
Yeah. Yeah, you feel like
We
you
were
could, but
having
don't
some,
need to.
yeah, exactly. It was like,
Yeah.
oh, nice. We were having stormy weather, so I was pretty much just kind of um, witnessing that. But um, I noticed that my witnessing of that was even different. I don't know. It
Yeah,
just
you're
like I definitely
so
grew.
basically the mechanics of it is that your whole nervous system's connecting with cause and effect. Allows
Yes.
you to step outside because we're supposed to be outside of us observing ourselves. I
Mm-hmm.
am that I am is not I, capital I, it's EYE. In order to be
Yes.
there, the body has to be out of stress. Well, the quickest way to take the body out of stress is connect that component. Urine therapy does that. So you have this energy, you have this ability to witness yourself.
Yes.
Now, out of curiosity, so the taste the first day.
It didn't bother me. I did follow your way of doing it with
But
lemon.
it's
Um,
still it's something. It's a more of a mental thing. It just kind of went in, went down, no problem.
yeah. Oh, it's a total mental thing. I realized that's something that I learned from my father because he always said, like for me, I was raised vegetarian until I was 3. And the first time that I had meat, I didn't know that I was eating chicken. And I was like, what is this? And somebody goes, oh, it's chicken. And I was just like, never had heard of eating an animal before. um, so, and my mom had been like vegetarian for 20 years before that. And um, so I didn't like meat, actually. Growing up, I did not like meat. And my father told me after he became a Sufi sheikh that I needed to eat one bite of meat every time it was served and say, I love it.
Right.
And I did it for many years and I did learn how to eat it. Um, then the pandemic hit and I realized, wait a minute, and it was after he had passed, I realized, wait a minute, why am I telling myself this? I don't love it and I don't want to do it. So for like
Yeah.
a while there, I went completely off of it. Um, and finally, now I'm at this stage in my life where I am witnessing life, just following like seeing what situations life brings me in. Um, not really living from the place of like having to look behind myself anymore.
Right.
I'm just like here, okay, I'm making a decision. I'm standing with it. Oh, this is what it feels like. Okay, next time do we want to do this or not? Kind of phase. And that so that with that, I was just like, okay, we drink cow's milk or goat's milk or any kind of milk. It's pus
Yeah.
in some, So
Yeah.
I was like,
Exactly. It's plus. This is where Jason goes. He goes, we'll drink pus from a cow, but we have problems drinking something from our own body.
and
It doesn't make sense. It's because of the social stigma.
yes, and as a little girl, I used to ask these kind of questions. Like my horse passed, and they told me that my grandmother was like, "Well, we'll probably donate the animal's meat for dog food and whatever." And it opened all these, and I was like, "Well, why don't people eat horses?" And like,
Yeah, it's like
oh, or why don't we eat
what's
dogs?
the yeah what's the type of meat? Like where do we stop? And a lot of the pork is a one for Muslim and for Jewish
Mm-hmm.
example, right? Um, well, when we have like a valve put in our heart, is from a pig
Mm-hmm.
because they have the closest genetic profile to us. So that's why they say, like, that's why also why pork is such a tasty, like, people's like, whoa, I love pork, and because it's the closest to human.
Yeah, they even sing to their babies. I heard.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like,
So the question is where, but I mean, that argument, you talk to my son, who's a who's a West Coast fun guy. He's teaching. We're getting ready to teach people how to grow microgreens and mushrooms in a program. And
awesome.
he'll go, because he always likes to take the adversarial role, and he goes, well, plants, they're alive too. And I'm like, yeah, you're right, they are. I mean, but my whole thing is that we shouldn't be eating anything.
Well,
I have gone multiple times in the last, I've gone 44 days, I've done 15, 20 days without food. I'm at the point where when I don't eat, and I'm like, if I go on a 15, 20-day fast right now, I won't sleep for the last 5 to 7 days, because my body gets DMT through the day. So, and I have so much energy, and I'm dreading the time I go back to eat. But I go back to eat because it's also, I'm socially in a different planet. And
yes, yes,
and
yes,
and,
yes.
and then I come
I've
back
experienced
to
that
be
with
in that
fasting too.
social planet. And then and that's, see, right now I'm at the stage where if I fast, you can't tell the difference in my body. It doesn't look any different. So it
Yeah.
doesn't make a difference whether I'm eating or not, just like minor, like a couple pounds.
Okay. Yes. Yes. Yeah. No, that's. I'm glad to be talking about. I used to actually do a lot of fasting when I was still living in Indonesia, and I actually had done it not for religious reasons but spiritual reasons. I had someone tell me, like, if I was trying to do something, if you want something, you can fast with that intention. And I did that for a while. And then, and doors were
It's
opening within myself,
true.
and like,
It is true. It removes the emotional. Now I understand the body more. It removes
hmm
the emotional blocks. It's like if I'm going to go pack up my own house, it's like it's painful. It takes hours and it's hard. If I go pack up your house, it takes minutes,
yes.
because I'm emotionally attached to every item in that house.
hmm Yeah.
That's where the pain of moving forward is, to our attachments. Like, give up all your possessions and follow me, and you shall find salvation. I mean, it's every spiritual text has some version of that. And
Yes.
but we're not attached to the physical things. We're attached to the emotions
Memories.
connected.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's why fasting did for me. I gotta go back to urine therapy. So some people are asking.
Okay. Yes.
So your third day. So
Yes.
you went through your first day, had more energy. What sleep did it change for you?
Sleep. I think I slept deeper because I don't remember. I usually will like wake up and kind of lift my head to see through the curtain if the outside lights have gone off or not, but I didn't do that. It was like
Okay, so did you have any more dreams, or do you
I
remember?
had I don't remember them right now, but I definitely
Had
had
them.
more
Okay, so
dreams, and I
day
just
two.
can't remember what.
So day two, what was
Yeah.
it like?
Day two, I think I took a little bit more, and I don't know what the dose is. And
I
I'd
am.
see somebody.
I just like literally, it's about that much in the bottom of the cup.
Okay.
I don't. I like, some people want exact, and I'm like, I've
Yeah.
never done anything exact. And my body goes, oh, that's about right.
That's what I was like, okay, there was the brain side of me was like, okay, how much, just because of this lack of trust or like have to do it right. But then like I felt this like just pour some in the cup. And
Did you notice
um
emotional changes in day two?
I definitely, yeah, I noticed that, for example, my sweet father-in-law, who is very similar to my father, the only difference is that I'm not afraid of him.
Yeah. Okay, got it.
Um, so yeah, but he knows how to like trigger
Yeah.
things and say things. And being a Libra, like I want justice and kindness and all of these type of things. And then also I'm a fire dragon. I
Yeah.
don't know if you are into that at all. So I'm like, yeah,
He's a metal dragon. All
okay.
about
Who is?
dragons.
Metal dragon.
Oh, wonderful. I
See you.
love meeting more dragons. Yes.
We're fabulous, aren't we?
She's an
We
artist too.
definitely. Awesome. Yeah, I look forward to connecting sometime.
That would be wonderful.
Definitely.
I look
Yeah.
forward to it also.
Oh, wow.
We're
Yeah.
connected at the moment.
Yes, we Definitely are. Definitely. But I would love to meet in person. This
Yes,
is the
I'm sure that
intention.
will
I
happen.
know it's going to happen.
Yes.
Yep. Definitely.
So,
Oh,
so,
yeah.
so you're more connected. Emotions like now going to day three. Are you on day three or you finished day three?
Today I finished day 3.
Okay, so day three. Because that's your third day. Now the fourth day is when you get the reconciliation, but you're still in that same change cycle.
Okay.
The first 3 days, that's why I caught you, because 3 days is a
Awesome.
human perception cycle.
Okay.
So if I have a new piece of information come in, I gotta wait 3 days. The fourth day is when I can then observe how that reflected on my life.
Okay. Oh, awesome. Okay, that's interesting to know because I also, not to take it off the topic, but love loves love is something that hit me in 2012, and it's 3.
Yeah.
And there, yeah,
Well,
okay,
three
that
is
just
also
kind of
belief.
hits.
3 is also planet Jupiter. It's expansion. It's open up to. It's also we're in the third dimension. It's color blue. So it's Sagittarius. So that's why I say our reality, however you look at it, is basically third dimension. It's a Sagittarius venture. That's why I'm a Sagittarius. That's why I believe, part of what I'm doing is helping lead people out of this third dimension that we're in
Yeah,
into something else,
yeah,
right?
yes, yes. And actually, saying that, I want to ask you a question about my brother, but I want to finish with the urine therapy because one of my brothers is a Sagittarius. You also look very similar, um, and I want to ask something. But with day 3, I yeah, I feel like things, my awareness, certain activities or certain like simple conversations, which before were kind of like almost getting under my skin or like making me feel bored.
Yeah.
I found myself just watching
More space,
very
more
intently.
observation, right?
Yeah.
So basically, the way I say it is, and somebody was asking, they've tried it for a little bit, and they didn't see a benefit right away, and I'm like, it's because in the third day, there's a cycle. Okay, so what happens is we're meant to cycle through our body. We're not meant to eat food. I know that. And NASA studied two guys that lived off sunlight, and they showed the physiological effects of the bladder filling with water and then recycling back in the body. because the hormones, the profile of the hormones that we develop throughout the day while we're healing at night, go into the bladder. And if I consume that, my body then jumps right from here. It doesn't have to make the hormones. It already has the code. It's like the formula for the hormones. So after a third day, if I've been really rough for a long period of time, for me, I didn't notice until 3 weeks. I mean, I was getting better, but I didn't notice I was getting better a lot because my life has been pretty good already. But about the third week, what I noticed is that I didn't want to satiate myself. Like I wasn't trying to eat more food. I was eating less. I noticed that I didn't want any plant medicine at all. I didn't want any THC or anything like that at all. Didn't even thought cross my mind because I have a whole drawer of it at home in Lions Bay. And I'm like, 3 weeks go by. I noticed that my energy levels were stable.
Mm-hmm.
But it took me 3 weeks to notice it. And then it was funny because I was doing it in the bath water. So because we have filtered water in the house, so I put borax, I put Epsom salt, I put diatomaceous earth and a little bit of urine in my bath water, and then I consume it. So then at 3 weeks I go, whoa! I just realized that I feel much better. My emotions are more stable. My cognition, my ability to separate myself from my world. But I had I'm like, what did I do differently? And I'm thinking, I'm like, oh, I've been consuming my urine for 3 weeks. Like, and
Wow.
and then that was and I'm a pretty aware guy, so I didn't even catch it because I wasn't going and actually doing an event. I mean, for me, I've just got in the bath. So if I'm actually taking out, putting in a glass, then there's a connection to an
Yes.
action, but I didn't have an action. So I really didn't notice it for 3 weeks.
That the other thing that I realized that's been on my mind all day today, and now that we're on this call, which was completely not planned on my part, like I didn't even know I was going to be sitting here able to watch the live. It's not been possible this past couple weeks, or it just hasn't happened. But as a little girl, until the age of 12, I used to pee the bed.
Right. Okay.
And
That's fear.
yes.
Yeah.
And I also realized, though, that it's also, yes, it's fear, but that's also, if I look back and realize that, I mean, if I look at it from the standpoint of urine
Yeah.
being therapy,
It is therapy. You're
I was
also getting,
also treating
that goes to
myself.
those wounds you had in your skin. Because
Yes,
those wounds in the skin, if you put urine topically on that, uh,
yes.
what that does, like right now, if you put urine on where you have a
Hmm.
bruise, so basically you're still back with that guy. That's still that same thing. So if you put urine topically on there or put urine in your bath, then you're gonna have it's gonna accelerate your detox.
You're
Yeah.
okay,
Like
okay,
when
yes,
people
yes.
have like a fungus or a skin lesion
Hmm.
or they have like a sty in the eye or whatever, you put urine on it, it's gone right away, like within hours.
And I remember that actually earlier today. I remembered it. I used to have a massage lady in Indonesia who used to say, "Oh yeah, I just drink a couple tablespoons a day." She's like, "I've been doing it for years." And I remember at the time just I said, "Look, I don't deny that
Yeah.
it's good, but I'm not there yet." And it's so funny because
Yeah.
it's now like 15 years later and I'm like, "Wow, yeah, I don't
Well,
know. I mean,
one
it
plus five is
seems
six, which is a number for Libra. So 15
nice."
years later, Libra's bring
Yeah.
every 15 years. Yep,
Okay.
story repeats every 12 years, three, but Libras bring the balance in the 15th year, which is six.
Okay.
and
Wow.
and then take action in the 18th year. So
Mm.
basically, whatever you are, because Libras take longer to wind up to do something, but when they do it, they get it done. Like they'll take longer to figure out the way. They'll be more gracious in the space and time, but when they do it right.
Yes, yes. Yeah, that's very much clearly described me very well. The um the other thing that there's actually two questions that I wanted to ask you if you have
Yeah,
time for
cool.
that. Okay. So the first question is pregnancy with the fascial maneuvers and also with the diatomaceous earth and the sea moss. My daughter is
Okay,
pregnant
so we have
and
if you go to our YouTube, you'll find two videos. Happy baby, happy body, happy baby.
okay.
Two women that have gone through. We have women that have reported all the way from conception all the way through to delivery. As a matter of fact, in the delivery room, this
Wow.
action here forces the baby to go up faster because it closes.
Wow.
Because when you push, all the pressure goes up here. But if you go
Yes.
here, the pressure doesn't go up. It causes less disruption, less pain. And yes, the minerals, diatomaceous earth, is minerals that should be in your food already. So
Okay.
it's not, this is where people get going. In the Irish sea moss, it's only demonized because of what it does. I mean, even Elon Musk said
Hmm.
today, if you're going to go in the future, there's one plant that you have to have, it's Irish sea moss.
Wow. Okay.
There's a reason why. So because it eradicates, when your body's functioning well, it heals itself. So yes, they can take those. The other thing is that's really good for pregnant women is the Power Kirk 30.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
It's super.
And then what about the boron?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's another element. Just go look at the research on it.
Okay.
It's a mineral, and these are the building blocks of life. So that means if you people, these are things that used to be available in our food.
Yes. Yes.
They're just not available anymore.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Wow. Thank you. I wanted to actually have you saying it here on as well because I feel like it can help so many
There
people.
is.
And
I mean,
um,
listen, the women that we know that have had full human garage babies, who have done the practice all the way from start to finish. The one thing I can tell you, and have mineralized and all that, none of the babies that we have seen, they're all very calm. None of them are like crying a lot. They're not like the
I was the
general
crying
demeanor of
baby.
the children is much calmer.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing too is, the mother's breastfeeding, and if she has stress hormones, if she's anxious,
Mm-hmm.
frustrated, if she's in stress, those hormones go directly in the child. The child is getting the stress hormone. So she
Yes.
goes, why
Yes.
is the kid always so, like, I can't sleep, I'm frustrated, and this is a common thing? Well, because you're giving the child your stress hormones.
Yes.
The quickest way through that is to take the fascial maneuvers, get out of the stress cycle.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you got proper mineralization, and the Power Kirk 30 is like unbelievable for children.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable.
Okay.
Yeah, it to
Yes,
kids.
yes.
Kids, if you just give it to kids, but you know, it's basically it's like one capsule for a child, unless it's a baby, and a baby half a capsule, and you mix it in with food because it's like curcumin,
Okay.
it's like a spice.
Yes, yes.
But if you take a room of kids that are just running around doing stuff, you give them all one Power Kirk, they'll be doing creative projects, they'll be talking to each other, they'll be sharing stuff instantaneously. You watch it, it happens within 45 minutes. We've
So
done
is this being that I'm in Turkey, is just the regular cumin that you, I mean,
No,
not
cumin won't
cumin,
work. Power
turmeric,
Kirk 30 is not
turmeric.
cumin.
It's not, not
Well, it is.
turmeric.
It's made from curcumin,
Okay.
but it takes the active ingredient, which is
Okay.
called bisdemoxycurcumin. It takes that out. It's pharmacologically made.
Okay.
That one element, that third curcuminoid, put back in curcumin. So basically, it's taking your curcumin and spiking up one element of it, which that element works on two things. The heat shock protein called MSK1, so it's intercellular, turns the inflammation off, and then extracellular deals with NF-kappa B, which is the known disease factor in every inflammatory disease, from cancer to fibromyalgia. So again, we can't make claims about that, but what we can say is it deals with those two things. And those two things are the elements, and it specifically targets connective tissue, which is your fascia. Now, when we started using it, we didn't even know that. We thought Power Kirk would just, it just made the body calmer. And we noticed that a 2-hour treatment in our clinic dropped to between 70 and 90 minutes just by giving people 2 of them when they came in. So but we weren't we were still thinking of fascia as a coating around a muscle back then in the clinic. We didn't see fascia. We didn't see that really we are fascia, and there's layers of fascia is this web, and there's layers of muscle tissue in there that makes up our muscles.
Yeah.
We didn't see it that way. We saw fascia as a coating around it.
Okay, thank you. I will definitely watch this again and take notes myself. The other thing that I wanted to say is my brother, his name is Salim. He was born on December 15th. And you look so similar.
Well, he's a 23 degree, I think, which would make him a Gemini Sagittarius. So he's in his head a lot. Always thinking.
Yes.
Yeah. So
and he's going
to have a lot of similarities. Now, the rest of his chart, pull his chart and send it to me. The rest of his chart, because Sagittarius is just the way that I express in the world. But behind that, it's my Mars, my Moon, my my Chiron. Those are the things that are expressing through there. So Sagittarius is just the presentation.
Okay. Yeah, and I wanted to ask because he's also
truth, by the way.
No, he's not.
He's not. He's holding back what he believes, and it's because of guilt and shame and fear.
Yes. And he's had also similarity. He's had a lot of teeth issues in the past.
Yeah, a lot of old souls are having teeth issues, not just Sagittarius. It's just I believe it because we're going through an evolution as a species. I mean, I have enough evidence in my life and the people around me to say that. If you don't know me and you don't know anything about it, it sounds like a pretty crazy claim. But I have things that there's no clinician, doctor, or scientist can explain that are going on with my body. So I'm just along for the ride right now. I'm observing. I mean, with my teeth, we can grow a liver back, I believe. And we have a drug now that grows a tooth you can get from Japan. It's now used in the United States that grows teeth back. So I know we can regrow teeth. I'm just like, there's a trigger or something that's going to be unlocked. And I'm waiting. And if I go and I put an implant in, then there's no freaking way I can grow back a teeth if I go and do surgery. So I'm hanging it out here for everybody, doing the long haul.
Yeah. Wow. It's so inspiring as well. I feel like we are like awakening. By sharing these things, we're awakening people to their own.
What awakening is. It's like, hey, it's like, how do I know to look unless I'm aware? But awareness comes from, not usually from inside. Most people's awareness comes from something external that makes them reflect internal and say, why is that here? So we've got a
Mm-hmm.
lot of external stimulus, and it's happening like crazy right now. Like I started off the today's live with, why are there so many people saying they're sick over the last 2 weeks? I mean, like, it's at the point where people on social media are going, what's with all this coughing and this mucus, and what's with all this sickness everybody's had for 2 weeks? On Astro Mondays, we've been saying it for 6 weeks. We said it's coming, and it's going to be here for 3 months, and
Yeah.
then it's going to get worse. It's going to bleed into the like this. Everything that we have been saying since 2019 has come true literally on the day that we're saying it, and it's not. We're not like forecasting or forecasting.
No.
What we're saying is it's like a weather forecast. It's
Yes.
going to be raining, and I know
Yep.
it's
Yep.
going to be rainy. I don't know how you're going to respond to the rain, but I know you have some options. You can use an umbrella, a raincoat. You can go out in the rain. You can run nude. There's different ways
Yes.
of dealing with the rain, but it's going to rain.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. And we each in each moment get the opportunity to decide how we want to be in the rain. That's something that I've actually begun to witness this year. Um, Actually, I think it was after I began the fascial maneuvers that I was like, wait a minute, like when it rains, it's yes, beginning to be fall, and usually we don't think about going out in the rain. But I was like, why not? Like, really, I want to, feel this human experience. And the same thing goes with diving into the pain or whatever it is.
I can, use an analogy of being in like central region time zone, equatorial zone. It's like Ecuador in Canada. When it rains, I don't want to be in the rain. It's cold. It's miserable. When I'm down here and it rains, I'm like, and it's pouring. I'm like, this is cool. Like I'll get on my bathing suit and walk in the rain
Yeah.
because the environment is
Yeah.
different. It's warm, and so if we consider rain to be all the stuff that we have happening to us, it's changed our environment. It's not so bad. And what is my environment? It's my emotional,
Mm-hmm.
because rain is cleansing, water is cleansing. So if I'm not in a good emotional state, when that water starts to cleanse me, I'm just going to feel horrible.
Yeah. Yes. Wow. Yeah. Beautiful. Thank
Well,
you.
Stella, it's
This
been
was
a pleasure talking
amazing
today. It's
for
been
me
a very,
too.
very heartfelt conversation. I can't wait to see tomorrow. You should have some sort of reconciliation, maybe not, and it's okay if it doesn't, but something. And tomorrow, the day after, it's like about what's changed. And I'm
Yes.
curious to know how that is. Let me know.
Okay. Yeah. And if you have any other, just as you're, before you go or before I go, any other suggestions, photographs, like photograph my face, my body, any other,
Yeah, no, just take a look at
take
the
notes.
change. I mean, be aware of what's changing in the way
Yeah.
that you see the world. For me, it was my energy levels, my reactiveness to situations. I had better energy. I was less reactive to situations. Visible changes in face and
Hmm.
body. Things like bowel movements changed. They became
Yes.
weirdly unique and like super predictable and weirdly unique. I
Yes.
don't even know.
I can say that too. Like, and also more regular
Yeah, more
somehow.
regular and it's because it's like this. You use it as topical. It's clearing out dead
Hmm.
fluid. Well, that dead fluid is what goes into the bowels, toxins. So
Hmm.
so it made it for the first little while. It made my bowel movements very consistent, and I mean they have been consistently, but it's definitely changed. And I still don't even know the nature of it. But the other thing too is that my internal organs have unraveled. And I can tell that by
Mm.
looking at a bowel movement. And, that's funny bowel movement. It's like, look what I can
Okay, okay. Yes. Okay, that's good. That's why I wanted to ask because I felt like there was something else that I might be able to
do.
observe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
okay.
just uh, just let us know.
All
Thank
all
you.
right. Well,
I
thank
appreciate
you
it.
so
And
much.
hopefully
All
we'll
right.
see you in
Thank
Indonesia
you.
when we go. I
Yeah,
definitely want to be
okay.
hooked up with your family.
Okay, definitely. All
Okay.
right. Thank you.
See ya.
Thank you so much.
That was a great conversation. I mean, we got a chance to talk about being a Libra. We got a chance to talk about health and starting the maneuvers. We got a chance about talking about growing up, being a vegetarian, eating meat. We got a chance to talk about urine therapy, how that affected. I mean, that was culturally, that was a fantastic talk. And that's why I kept it going because, I mean, I was enjoying the conversation, and it just had all these good elements in there. Stella, I think some people want to follow you. Can you put put a comment in there? Okay, Nicola. Nico Lola. I've been trying to bring people up today, and by the way, about 10 people couldn't come up. I don't know why. Amazing insights. Yeah. Pisces, 19 degree. See, that's much better than please don't give up on me. Her hand, Pisces, 19 degree. Her handle was, and I was helping her out, and I said, you got to change your handle, man. For more lower reset, I got to say, I can't wait to have regular bowel movements again. Oh, yeah, you want bowel movements, try the urine therapy. I mean, it'll make you regular. Okay, so I can't. Nicole Lola, not able to come up. Juan Julian. Yeah, I noticed. Yeah, see, bite down energy. Yeah, she changed her name. Yeah, because I'm just saying, like, everything's moving forward in your life. You gotta like get rid of the handle that says that everybody's giving up on you, right? Okay, Lola, spiritual love, unable to join. Yeah, if you're unable to join, it's like you gotta. One of the things you can check and see is, can I go live by myself? And if I can go live by myself, then you can be brought up. There can be a couple things, and Instagram's always changing the platform, and I've noticed like you get over half the people who try to bring up we can't bring up. Okay, Kathy Fulton. Hydrogenated water is fantastic. Go to H2 Water Experts. Reach out, talk to him. You get a discount working with him. Also, they give you the supplements when Human supplements when you buy a system. But he'll give you all of H2 Water Experts. You can learn all about hydrogen water, different types of water systems. Oh, okay, one can't go there either. Okay, we'll try again here. Rothy. Oh yeah, look at that. Sheetal. Yeah, I didn't realize it was her. Yeah, because you recognized her on the lives all those years all those months. Locked up natural philosophy concerning philosophy concerning human health. I'm not sure what you meant by that. Okay. Yeah, I'm still a little bit. This morning I'm like, I got up this morning and I was like, I crawl, plane flights, delays, bad water, all kinds of stuff, and I was crawling to the main room today, and I'm like, man, I feel like a train hit me, like arch and all that, and then normally I don't have a urine for a while, and then my urine came up right away, and I'm like, oh yeah, I took my urine, and before even the fascial fuel and the power core kicked in, I'm like, oh man, I'm all loose again. Okay. Coughs and colds are part of a spirit. Yeah, coughs and colds can be part of it. I mean, listen, anytime your body's detoxing, it's not sick, it's detoxing. Sick is what we are, and we're living our lives, and our bodies are trying to work through that sickness. Okay, you know what, guys? I'm gonna actually take care of myself. I'm feeling like I'm at my limit today. So I'm gonna shut down, but I do because I have to do Astro. Not have to. I get to do Astro Monday with Chris Witecki. So we're coming back at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is an hour and 20 minutes from now. So 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we are going to be talking about this full moon. We're going to be talking about why everybody's been so sick based on astrology. So if you haven't caught it, I'll catch you guys there. And also, today's intention is to bring some people up and look at what's going on in your lives and then relate it. We were talking about a couple clients of his, one that had cancer, and we were like, this is exactly why. This is what he asked me, and I said, this is what the body says, and he goes, that's what the astrology says. So we're going to have one of those conversations today. So we'll be back in an hour and 20 minutes. I'm going to go take a little bit of a shutdown break. Thank you guys. Today was fantastic. And December 16th in Vancouver, guys, we are this event on December 16th is going to be different than all the other ones that we've done. We're going to show you how to work with each other in this event. Now, this is going to be a massive scale, how to help each other, because to help somebody or receive help, you take what you can do in 3 months and you'll do it in a matter of days. And so it's about accelerating this, and we're doing this right now because things are peaking right now. Like we were going to go back and just have some time to relax and stuff like that. But you know, based on everything that's going on right now, we decided that we're going to be having this event. So if you're anywhere within flying distance, come on up. It's a Saturday morning. It's going to be 10 to 1. It's the 16th. Go to our link in our bio and check it out. Okay. Take care, everybody. We'll see you in an hour and 20 minutes.
Bye.
Bye.